Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing my top 5 simulators on Roblox. Right, so we all know simulators started becoming popular a very long time ago. Nowadays, there are just way too many of them that are pretty much the same thing, right? I tried a bunch of them, and I was very dissatisfied with a lot of them. However, there were a few good ones in the mix that at least stood out for me. Here are the top 5 simulators in my opinion. Alrighty, so let us start with the most obvious one, right? No one can possibly disagree about this one. Yes, you are thinking of the same one that I'm thinking, Bee Swarm Simulator. This game has been out for years and it's still one of the most popular simulators to date ever. I remember playing this game when it was first launched. It wasn't as good as it is right now, of course, but it was still a fresh change to the constant replicas all over the front page. This is probably the only simulator that I have found myself coming back to after every update. It's great. You purchase beehives, you put bees in them, and you get them to work until they're dead tired. Spinning for bees can be annoying, but the game really gives you plenty of spins all over the place. And to be honest, I've barely bought any of the bees myself since most of the good ones are given by collecting tickets and questing. Oh, and you can find some really good ones by spinning with the king jellies, which are hidden in secret locations. You can of course speed up the process by purchasing some of the game passes, but I've never needed to do that since I really enjoyed the slow pace of the game. Also, I'm not kidding when I tell you that you will never run out of things to do. Like, never. In fact, you'll constantly be multitasking with getting achievements, questing, running after honey storms, spawning sprouts, and so on. I spent hours the first time playing this game, and time flew by faster than I thought was possible. The level of immersion on this game is high tier for a Roblox game. That being said, this is easily on top of the list of simulators earning it the top spot. Now the second one might come as a surprise, but it is a really good game as well. 3-2-1 Blast Off Simulator, you know what I'm talking about. Don't get me wrong, this isn't the best game ever, but I have always been a space nerd. For me, this was a dream come true. You mean to tell me I get to purchase a rocket, fuel it up, send it to space and see how far I can go? The only bad part about this is that it kind of copies the general idea of other simulators with the rebirth thing and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near as excessive as the other ones. The cool part about it is that you could reach the top island on your first rebirth, so you don't really need to reset your process to get any higher. Also, rebirthing kind of gives you premium currency that you can buy with Robux. The rewards are quite generous too. I have found myself enjoying the idea of getting the best premium currency items without having to spend my Robux. Instead, I could just play the game. Who would have ever thought that that was ever going to be a thing, right? Anyways, so being a space freak since before I was even born led me to rank this game in the second place. Try it, it's actually kind of fun too. And yes, there are no pets or stupid luck rolls involved, thank God. Now the third game on the list is Miner Simulator. Remember the part that I said about me being a space nerd? Well, I also really enjoy playing mining games for some reason. Don't even ask me why, because I don't know. By the way, I haven't really told this to anybody yet, but I've once used a pickaxe to chop off a small tree. Yes, I will never attempt an impossible challenge such as this ever again. Can you blame me though? I was too lazy to go buy a saw for one small tree. I mean, who would have known it was going to take me days? Worst part is, I felt proud and victorious after I defeated the small tree. Oof. Anyway, back to the real world. I've probably played every mining game out there. You wouldn't believe me, but the first mining game on Roblox was a 2D game. What I mean by that is you could only move sideways and up or down. Yes, they have come a long way, haven't they? The part that I really enjoyed about this is that rebirthing is actually pretty easy and it's very rewarding. It isn't simply just more multipliers, but it actually unlocks new areas to mine and therefore more quests and more tools for you to buy. The amount of new tools isn't extraordinary by any means, but they're there. My favorite area is probably the space mine and the fast food mine. Yes, there's a fast food mine where you can mine nuggets and french fries. In fact, there is a quest asking to mine a few of each. Check this one out. And speaking of quests give a new currency to the game called tokens. And these tokens can of course be used to purchase very good endgame items. Also, there seems to be an endless amount of them, so have a crack at it. While there's still the annoying rolls and luck involved getting that mythical beast that you want, the game pretty much gives you the ability to mine so fast that you don't even really need the best pets. I mean, the pets you get from quests are legendary anyways, and they're better once they're upgraded. There are many people who are willing to trade and help, by the way. Let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be more than happy to give you some of the rare stuff that I have. With all that being said, this game takes the 3rd spot in the best simulator on Roblox. Okay, so this is probably the funniest simulator on this flat earth. I am eyeballing you, MegaNoob Simulator. This game itself is a meme. I mean, come on, you play as a tiny noob and you get more strength as you defeat Mr. Bacon's underlings, which are more smaller bacon heads, by the way. Just like most simulators, the goal is to defeat mobs, get money, and get stronger to defeat stronger mobs. It is kinda like in the RPG where you level up your character, you get new weapons, defeat stronger bosses, yada yada yada. I kinda follow the same concept. The only difference is that you're playing a meme. A noob looking that buff, I mean, come on, is that even a noob anymore? Who in their right mind would call this person a noob in the first place? Just look at that. Wouldn't you at least... Okay, I'm gonna stop right there, okay? So anyways, by defeating the bacon heads, there is a chance that you can acquire their heads. This is the second most valuable currency in the game. The first being the rebirth points, of course. And as funny as it may sound, you can trade the bacon heads for coins, skins, trails, pets, and pretty much many things that will stay with you even after your rebirth. I am personally a quest addict, so I was a little disappointed when I noticed that there were none in my 5 hour of gameplay. But I quickly grew over that since the game didn't really need it. It would have just created more chaos in a simple game of noobs versus bacons. I briefly mentioned it before, but yes, this game has rebirthing and pets. Good thing is that pets are not based off of luck rolls, but they are purchased with game currency. Rebirthing also unlocks more areas and bosses to defeat in addition to their huge multipliers. I have found myself enjoying the game even after 5 hours of playing the game, which is very rare for me, by the way, in a Roblox simulator game. All in all, I think this game deserves its 4th spot on the list. The last game is probably a game you have never even heard of. It is called Army Control Simulator. I don't even think this game was ever on the first page, but don't quote me on this though. I played this game a really long time ago when one of my friends was playing it. It's kind of like Bee Swarm Simulator where you buy barracks, archers, mages instead of bees. Of course, it is not half as good as Bee Swarm Simulator, but this game also has its charms. I have personally found myself enjoying the game even after a few days of playing it. It is a really good game when you start off since there is a lot of things to do and a lot of things to look forward to. Of course, you're trying to build the greatest army there ever was. At first, there seems to be a lot to do. Getting a stronger magic wand, a bigger backpack, more buildings, more units, leveling them up. And of course, as you're progressing, you're constantly equipping your army with stronger weapons, stronger armor, which are pretty much dropped from bosses and sometimes even trees. Or you could just make your life easier and purchase better items from the various shops throughout the game. Now the really bad part about Control Army Simulator is that it gets extremely grindy in game when you have maxed everything and you're still trying to get the best equipment for your army, since the last area on the map is very difficult as a solo player. Now the other bad part about it is that you could spend an hour grinding and barely getting anywhere since the stuff you buy with gold are random. Of course, it gets harder and harder to get better stuff even if you can farm gold faster with your new equipment, since the chances of getting stronger items is very low. I still do recommend playing this game because you will have fun playing it for the first few days or maybe even first week. I mean, I certainly did, and believe me, I am very picky about what simulators I like to play. Anyway, so at least the Control Army Simulator adds a fresh idea to the simulator genre by having us controlling and building our army from the ground up. This game ranks 5th on my list of simulators. Alright, so if you have reached this point in the video, you're probably going to try at least one of these games yourself. I would like to say to you that these are ranked based off of my own personal taste. I have tried more than 10 different games like the Superpower Simulator, Lumber Simulator, Building, Shoveling, and many more different simulators. The 5 simulators that I listed were the ones that I thought were best for my taste. Now let me know if you agree. I would also love to hear your opinion on other simulators that you personally like to play. I am picky about simulators, but I would be willing to try and give an opinion on some of your favorite simulators. Have fun and thank you for watching. And also, don't forget to give it a like if you liked it, okay? Bye bye!